What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Meta Chat with MetaMatt podcast. So this interview is going to be a little bit different. I actually did this live at NFT NYC 2022. In this one, I'll be talking to the team of Nifty League. It's an NFT project that has a really cool video game out. So let's get right into it. What is Nifty League?
Nifty Smashers was our flagship title. It's basically a Super Smash Bros. Inspired kind of, like we're really going after that nostalgia of Nintendo and like those early 90s kind of games. I think a lot of us in particular grew up on. Yeah, so the major title that we have is Nifty Smashers. We just released this kind of mini game. It's called Wing Game. It's like a batting cages style thing where some hidden mechanics in there. We don't, like players are kind of discovering still. We still have some mechanics they haven't even found yet. But so it's really cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're trying to build out kind of like a whole ecosystem for us. We have a Metaverse coming, but that Metaverse is really going to kind of function as like a centralized place for people to hang out in between our games as well. So even though we might attract different types of gamers, we still want them to be able to kind of hang out in the same, I guess you could think of it as a lobby, because our metaverse will have like entry points to our games.
So it's going to be your own metaverse, not like
yes,
in the
exactly.
sandbox.
Yeah,
really cool.
although we are already partnered with and have our degens fully implemented in Worldwide Web 3. So anyone who gets a degen is able to instantly come in and like play our games, but also go to Worldwide Web 3 and load in with their degen in Worldwide Web 3. Additionally, we have partnership with another large NFT to like import them, one of the big PFPs. Can't really say specific names yet, but we're probably the next 30 to 60 days, I expect that to really go live. Like we've already got them implemented in game and have tested it. It's just a matter of like all the legwork around the announcement.
So is this? So you have your own NFT as well?
Oh yes, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So each one of these characters that you see in the game is actually an NFT that was minted by somebody and designed by them. So each one of those traits, they're random in the sense that they were designed by a random group of people. And the attributes, as they were chosen by people throughout the mint, were randomly removed. So like you see that hat there on that character. That degen hat may have been removed shortly after that one was minted. So now whoever selected that black hat previously has it, but no one else can get it. So rarity was kind of created in this like reverse way from what you're
basically like demand almost.
Yeah. But then we also, you might notice like the background kind of changing if you see them change characters. Those backgrounds were completely the only random thing about Mint, which was it kind of assigns like a rarity, a baseline rarity that will change their earning potential. So we have 4 different backgrounds: common, rare, meta, and legendary. And yeah, each tier is basically like a slightly higher earning potential. So like more multipliers and more able to like over the same amount of time just earn a little bit more.
So the holders play in the game and they earn.
Yes.
What is it that they earn?
So they earn this token NFTL. That is our ERC20. Each degen actually also produces 68.5 NFTL per day from Mint for only 3 years from Mint. So that was September 2021. This was all kind of like the idea was to bootstrap the community with some with tokens and liquidity that we expect to be using within all of these things that we're kind of like developing. The Niftyverse in particular will probably be the largest singular token sink.
And it seems like you have a lot of different types of video games going, like different types of games going on that you want to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. So like a lot of this was kind of legwork up here. You kind of see desktop app on our roadmap. This is also available on our website, this roadmap. The rentals we implemented, the leaderboards, the beta. Free to play is not out yet, although the capability is pretty much there. We're just kind of timing our release for that. Really what's coming up is going to be Niftyverse is the next major thing. We'll have the tennis game out just before that, but this Niftyverse is like the big thing. But then Battle Royale, like Nifty Royale, we really think we have a lot of fun avenues here to kind of like take that genre and just, it's been really done a lot of different ways. So I'm not going to say we're going to do something no one's ever seen before, but I think for our community, for our games, it's really going to fit this kind of vibe we've got planned there. So yeah.
So my community is a big stock. I originally was stock trading, crypto trading, then got into NFTs afterwards.
Yeah.
So as far as like an investor's mindset goes, if someone maybe doesn't want to play like the games, are they still able to invest? And is there anything they can get from that if they aren't playing the games? Like kind of like investing in Activision, like stock, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a great question, and I should have led there probably more naturally anyway. But yeah. So we actually implemented this rental system that allows players who don't own the NFT to come in, and as long as they have a wallet and some tokens, or maybe even the owner chooses to sponsor that user, that you basically allow that person to play with your NFT. But it's all managed off chain. So we're not actually moving your NFT. We're not requiring any collateral or anything. It's purely just transactional. The person pays our token and they get access to your degen, and you get a fraction of those tokens.
So for people who want to play the game but don't necessarily want to get the NFT or know how to do it, they can basically rent your NFT. You make money off of them playing it.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So you will get, like, currently owners are getting at a minimum 10% of every. So say someone earns like 100 NFTL in a match, and they rented that degen, the owner would get 10 FTL for that. And because that degen could be rented 4 or 5 times, if you've got, our user numbers are not there yet. Obviously, we're not really like marketing for that yet. We still need to kind of, I think, position our tokenomics in a place to like scale to that size.
Well, smart. I know there's a lot of projects I've worked with. A lot of projects I've tried to work with us, I guess, I said no to because they're like, oh, we're going to do this, that, that. Like, so we try to like fast track it and without really knowing what they're doing. So it's nice that y'all, instead of like, oh yeah, we're doing tomorrow, you're like, we had to work it out and figure out how it works so it's done the right way, which a lot of projects aren't doing the right way.
We're super critical about being like our tokenomic structure basically being like solid and not. Currently, we're in a state where we're emitting, and we actually do have holders who are like upset because we brought in all these renters who really are kind of a drain on the ecosystem. Ultimately, like they're here to make money. These are people who don't own the NFT, don't even maybe have means to own the NFT, and so. But what these people have provided to us that maybe isn't as apparent to our users, and we've tried to communicate this with them, is that we've gathered a lot of data that has really provided us a ton of insight into various regions and communities, especially gaming guilds. We've partnered with several to bring a lot of their players in and just kind of start to like understand what the psychological process, what the thoughts process, I guess I should say, is for these types of users, because this isn't Web 2 gaming. We're not just attracting conventional Web 2 gamers. Like you're saying, these are people who are coming from an investment background, and they're thinking about things in a much more like detailed manner than just someone who's like, oh, I love Smash Bros, I'm going to go play Smash Bros.
People are too busy nowadays just to play the video game without any incentive.
Right. Well, I mean, it's the reality.
Inflation,
like,
I mean, that's how it is.
Yeah, if you've got to pay people to play your game, like that, I think that's part of the growth the growth piece. I don't think there's anybody who's really going to like be attracting people in this space without that. Just because, like you're saying, like everyone is really at its core here for that opportunity to make money. So yeah, we're trying to design a system that is purely, it's balanced. Like balanced economies don't just spring up overnight. Like you're saying, you can't just force that.
Exactly. I like that. Like I like that long-term thinking. That's what I like for my community. The ones I recommend, the projects I recommend, are always the ones that I talk to the people, and I can tell like they're in it for the long run. They're okay with like dealing with a little bit of a little waiting time. It means making sure it's gonna be right. And like I was saying, there are a lot of projects. What is it that kind of like puts your project ahead of the other, play to earn game projects and all the other ones, all these NFTs that are, that say they're gonna make video games. I actually see yours right now being played, so that's a big difference. I've yet to see a lot of other video games being played from these other projects. They say a lot, but so what is it that you guys offer? I guess that others don't.
I guess I would say just right off the bat, one of the things that really brought me in, so like I'm one of the back-end engineers on the team, and I came in on the first mint day, actually. Bolo Dave right here is the guy. He popped into a Discord I'm in with my real-life friends, and I didn't know him from Adam, and he just was like, hey guys, this project is sick. Like, I just minted this. It was so much fun. Like, check it out. So I checked out their minting process. I found it to be just as fun. I don't know, did I explain that to you, that they were each designed individually?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Yeah, so I just loved it. I got in there, and then within a few months, I had interacted with several of the founders and just started speaking with them and was so amazed at their like capabilities. So we have 2 ex-Activision devs who actually like designed this, and they both worked on several titles, at their like Call of Duty and things over the last 8 years. So just like having that AAA experience, and one of them was a lead, like being able to have that kind of like leadership experience at that level, I think that helps set us apart. But that, I don't want to say that's the only thing, because like there are so many good games that I see coming down the pipe. I see like real AAA teams, it looks like, kind of like starting to put together some really awesome stuff. So I don't want to sit here and pretend like what we're building is going to be like the like what's the pinnacle, I guess, of Web3 gaming. Yeah. But our goal is definitely to be like to hit that Nintendo chord for Web3 gamers. Like we really want to be the Nintendo of Web3 gaming.
That's what that looks like. I like the game that I'm watching everyone play, and like Nintendo, it's very addicting. Like, and I see the same people right now have been playing. Like everyone's watching. Like this is like, you know, it's that nostalgia, kind of like with NFTs, the whole trading. You know, it's like brings back like Pokemon almost, or like McDonald's collectibles. Like it's very nostalgic, and then those are the people who are really at this point, you know, have the money to spend on these stuff. So it's good to market it towards that. Like, you know, and
we're just so excited to have people like really who are enjoying our game and taking it to a competitive place that I think even we didn't expect it to get to so quickly. Like we have some extremely high skill players, a few who are like ex Smash Pro players. And we're really like, we've crossed paths with current Smash Pro players. We haven't approached them yet about like really seeing if they enjoy the game, but we're curious to see, like we've started offering tournaments and things to our users, and some pretty big prizes in there too, but the response has been overwhelming, and the like level of competition has elevated so quickly that it's been kind of alarming. Like we're like realizing, holy crap, we need to like put more effort into providing a like top tier ecosystem for these high level players, because what's happening is, those players play a lot and they end up in matchmaking on it, like maybe it's a lull, it's like 2 a.m. and you've got less users, and now you've got a new user who just got home from the bar and he's maybe a little buzzed and he's trying to queue in, and he ends up against like a top tier guy who's just practicing. So even though our matchmaking is pretty good, it can't, when we don't have enough users, sometimes you end up with someone. So that's been, I would say that's been like a big challenge for us, is really like finding that balance while we like meet that sustainability requirement that we want.
Well, this kind of reminds me of like Super Smash Brothers meets like those newer games you get to like create your own character type of deal, because it's an NFT and like it's yours, and it's an investment.
And we plan on kind of offering more customization opportunities, I guess I would say, in the future through things like, so we have pets coming down the road, which are going to be kind of like, that actually sprung up out of our community. We didn't really necessarily plan on doing pets before or anything else, but people started posting chickens in our chat, and it just kind of like turned into a meme. And people started saying like when chicken and when, so you started getting we were just like, okay, do people want pets? And everyone was like, yes, we want pets, and we want to mint it the same way you minted these other things. So that's kind of become something that we're really looking at.
I love that, because it shows that not only do you have this very professional looking video game, you clearly know what you're talking about, when it comes to video games and just the communities. And you said you had two Activision devs. I came like from when I first started in engineering, I was a QA automation engineer with Sony Online, and I was able to like work underneath some devs and learn a lot in gaming, but ultimately decided it wasn't for me as a junior dev. I was like, it felt like I was in over my head. Gaming was super competitive at the time. This was like 2009, 2010. Yeah.
So, 2010, 2011. So it's just been a real like journey getting back into it with these guys, because they are so like our lead, Ali Snarfy, he goes by in Discord. He is just like, his vision, his ability to not only like design and build the games, but also really like tap into what makes a game fun. That's, I think, the most important thing that he really brings to the table. You asked like what sets us apart. I would say that his vision and his ability to like kind of find the fun in a game or like create it when it's not there is incredible. He has this beautiful vision. and not only that, he was actually able to recently, we interviewed someone who's a really talented game dev who's worked in the industry, and I think will be hopefully coming on pretty soon. And their overlap is very strong. So like, I just feel like we've got an amazing team, and they're like, it feels like the right balance. I don't want to put any other projects down. I feel like there's so many good things out there, and we're all trying to like reach the same goal. And I think we feel like there is enough room for all of us here. So there's no reason that we can't like build our own metaverse and create that collaboration.
No, I love this. Like, honestly, for me, like kind of like we were saying before, like I used to play video games all the time back in like the N64, Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart. That was back when there was like a few buttons, and now like all these games are so intricate, and everyone like knows I log in to a new game and I get killed like within like 2 seconds.
Yep.
And like with these kind of games, it's kind of bringing back that that old school less is more mentality.
Yeah.
Like let's just no cheating, no this that whatever. It's just two people just fighting it out, or 4 people, however it works.
And that's actually why. So that's actually one of the design decisions that was made by the team in the initial launch was to not include things like blocking and all that, because they felt like if you just include blocking and stuff right off the bat, you're really creating like an even greater skill disparity between new and high skill players, because the time and experience it takes to like predict that type of thing.
It really does. People don't realize that.
Yeah. So that was a decision he made. He was like, until we can like definitely sort people into appropriate skill buckets and make sure we have enough players, it just doesn't make sense to like provide those mechanics, because our skill gap, it will be too wide.
I can definitely see this going places, like Super Smash Bros. They have, the game, there's just so many different, upgrades and different versions, which is just so cool.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Oh, no, yeah.
For those listening, how would they get involved? Is it minting? Is it currently, it sounds like it's already out. Like,
yes.
Is it on OpenSea? Is it on
OpenSea would probably be the best place to buy a DGen if you were interested right now. The floor is close to 0.2, which is a great time to buy. So we minted at 0.1 in September 2021. And then, at the peak when everything was great, when January, February, everyone was feeling great still. We were probably like 1.3, 1.4 each floor. So we felt really confident. And then, as the market we were just like, we had some other things planned we were maybe going to release right away, and we just decided, let's take a step back, let's continue building. We have our runway, so we're good. But,
like I said, I do come from a stock trading background. The way that I usually see stocks that are, companies that have fundamentals that are, solid companies, there are all-time highs are usually levels they can come back to. So for you, you said it was what,
1.3 ETH was the floor,
so, once the market comes back, that's a very achievable floor, if not even higher.
Yeah, and that's our hope, especially with some of the the collabs we have coming up with some of the other like PFPs that are more well known. Those will be, I think that collab might cause a little bit of a stir and hopefully do some stuff for us. But I feel like long term, we're pretty confident that we have what it takes to really attract that player base. We've got a tournament series coming up, so if anyone is interested, get that practice in, because when that tournament series kicks off, the prizes for the individual tournaments will be pretty significant. But the last 2 tournaments are going to be invitation based on participation and points earned in the previous weeks, and those prices will be much bigger. So. And this is just kind of a fun kickoff thing we're thinking of doing we are doing over the summer. But we have a full on-demand tournament system that we're really working on, so that people, kind of like mobile games maybe you play, and there's what's Mini Clip Pool is a good example. There's these systems where people can just load in, queue up. They're like, I want to play an 8-player tournament, and they just sit, and then 6 minutes later, that's a long time. A minute later, you've got your 8 players, whatever it is. Maybe I'm thinking Poker Stars, those sit and go tournaments. But so you wait whatever your time is, depending, maybe you're doing a 64-player tournament, and then it just loads you all right in. But it creates that opportunity for us to do kind of a zero-sum thing, where if everyone's putting in 100 NFTL, of our token, if there's 64 players, that's a pretty significant prize pool that you can pay out to those top, and still actually have room to even leave for deflationary mechanisms if you want to burn some of the tokens. So these are all things we've kind of really explored and have kind of coming down the road.
Can people turn these tokens into like Ethereum or
Yep.
is it like okay,
I'm
cool.
so sorry. Yeah,
That's
our token
good.
NFTL that they earn for playing the games and stuff is an ERC20. The only gas transaction within our ecosystem right now is if you want to deposit or withdraw earnings. So that's it.
Cool. I love the graphics and everything.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're so much fun. Like our artist actually, Spike or Mike, he's the lead artist, one of the founders, and he did like all of this. He's done some really awesome stuff in the past. Did some music videos for Goldfish. I don't know if you ever like look up the Goldfish music videos, and he's done those animations.
like the gold, like the snack.
Oh no, Goldfish the band. Sorry,
Okay, it was the NFT, the band snack. What are we talking
my
about?
bad. Yeah, my
I wear
apologies.
NFT NYC, so it's hard to There's so many weird names going out. Like
Understandable. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's like just amazing. He just like this is his art. He just kind of like does this so quickly, and if you look at his art, you'll kind of notice he's one of those people who sneaks little details in and puts he does it everywhere. So always keep an eye out for that. Like within his we have these comics that he made, and yeah.
So what again do people look up on OpenSea?
Oh, sorry. Nifty Degen.
Nifty Degen.
Yeah, Nifty League Degens is the full name, but the collection, the URL is like /collection/Nifty Degen.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate this.
Yeah, thank you.